If we link the previous statements to our efforts at the House of Wisdom, which aims to achieve a national consensus for Sudan Vision 2040, it will serve as a reference for the state respected by both the governing and opposition parties. Beside our effort to improve the political practice and establish democratic system based on human dignity, knowledge, and ethics, unifying Sudanese identity rather than the divisiveness mindset of tribalism, along with the framework for political action and the concept of citizenship as a base for the rights and duties. Bound by the wider base of the tolerant and compassionate Sufi Islamic sect, this and other cultural, social, and political arrangements show promise in producing a distinguished Sudanese model and guarantee stability and sustainability for the suggested partnership. These philosophies, along with the national consensus on a Sudanese vision, would establish a Sudan as the nexus of the strategic relation between Africa and the United States, as well as regional and global peace. Adopting a strategic approach in Africa betters the chances of the United States and Africa playing a more central and effective role in the economy. Associating with Africa on a strategic basis allows the United States access to Africa's huge strategic advantages and promotes their success in a number of key international competitive markets. This would also support Americans' desire to curb certain countries' control of the rare minerals that are used to develop advanced technologies. The following points reflect the dimensions and policies that would most likely govern the strategic relation between Africa, Sudan mainly, and the United States, whereby we can achieve a rational human model in the African theater. 1. Cooperation that established and strengthening the will of the people in accordance with the philosophy and vision put forward. The balance between U.S. strategic interests and African interests. 3. The principle of linking interests strategically to achieve and secure these interests, promote mutual trust and political and cultural communication, adopt a mutual benefit approach. 6. Support efforts to establish good governance and spread the concept, culture, and conduct of the state. 7. Support political developments and the adoption of procedures that respect the sovereignty and interests of the state while applying the principles of good governance. 8. Attention to infrastructure cooperation. 9. The adoption of the values, principles, and guiding principles of the American strategy in Africa based on respect for African cultures, adoption of non-interference principles in unrelated affairs, conservation in Africa, focusing on outcomes basis, not outputs, adoption of value-added policy for Africa, including the transfer of advanced technology. Support security and stability in Africa and not to pursue policies or practices contrary to that. Establishment of central systems to launch Sudanese American and African American cooperation. 14. Deepening U.S. presence in African markets through partnership and developing mutual benefits. Establishing final industries in Africa to achieve the added value of Africa, especially since the United States of America does not have pressure caused by population to send workers to Africa like China do. 16. The establishment of American industrial cities in Sudan, opening to the door for export to cross into markets and enjoy open borders. 17. The establishment of multi-modal transport system within the framework of the African corridor. This includes, on a strategic basis, a trans-African railway, road and pipeline networks, ports on the Red Sea, and airports, logistics stations, and energy. 18. The launch of American industry from Africa, where resources are available under proper economic policies, modern technology and expertise, as well as the proposed economic philosophy that secure production of high quality and competitive costs. This will pave the way for a comfortable entry into the international market, the establishment of an internal base in Africa of popular satisfaction which underlies the sustainability of success. 19. Strategic arrangements to link interests around agricultural land and water in coordination with the Sudan with a view to targeting food strategy. 20. Establish a common economic philosophy that associates the United States with the grassroots that will form the most secure strategies arrangements to protect American interests in the coming decade by establishing an economic philosophy based on job creation for Africans, establishing production relationship between small producers and national global companies similar to the East Asian experience, establishing a philosophy based on the development of society including human resources development and capacity building, increasing purchasing power and improving living standards, establishing an economic philosophy that directly links investment with social responsibility. 21. Establishing an investment climate that includes internationally competitive policies that curb double taxation and unreasonable fees. Support African efforts to cultivate development methods suited to their national specifications. Building African information systems, including the production of mineral maps. 24. Support scientific research, especially on the development of Africa and the optimal utilization of resources. 25. Bring professional knowledge and training of human resources in various sectors to learn and improve the skills and culture of value-added chain in products. Conduct market research and surveys for the African markets. On this part, let us talk about the culture support and capacity building. Before becoming an important bridge for trade between the north, south, east, and west of the continent, Sudan is also a fertile region for cultural and civilization international among all the region of Africa due to its history, culture, and geography. Sufi groups throughout Sudan continue to play an important role in shaping the African conscience and spreading true and moderate Islam. Through the Sudanese Vision 2040, the House of Wisdom seeks to reposition the Sudan as a linked country in the important intersection as well as preserving its historical role in spreading love and peace. The House of Wisdom has set out the strategic frameworks, philosophies, and objectives that reflect the Sudanese vision and will determine the directions and areas of training in a way that serve the overall development of the Sudan. It should be pointed out that establishing a strategic relationship between Africa and the United States in general and between Sudan and the United States in particular need a wise political strategy to create the conditions required for that purpose. It is also necessary to realize the importance of a national strategic vision that reflects all citizens as an intellectual framework to ensure that this vision is not fundamentally affected by change in governments. It's important to define the ideas, goals, objectives, and the system of values that will reflect the state and serve as a reference for preparing its plans and policies. This idea is meant to crystallize, spread, and promote a cultural idea that establishes the concept of the state and the culture of good governance, including transparency, accountability, etc. This would also ensure that the state's behavior towards its citizens and the international family would not compromise the international security and the security of the environment and human security. In addition, the concept of Sudanese identity and the broad sense of belonging would rise as an alternative to tribalism. This cultural idea also requires respecting and understanding the cultural concept of life. Without it, a sense of life is lost, a dangerous feeling which is not wise to ignore. All parties should be without prejudice in human, national, regional, and international security, and instead be supported by philosophies of the moderate and Sufi Islam, which upholds love and respect for human beings, regardless to ethnicity, religion, or race. The House of Wisdom seeks to realize a Sudanese vision and Sudanese dream, doing so by reaching a national alliance for all peoples based on approval national goals and aspiration founded on humanity, justice, and knowledge.